Japan is a country where the average salary isn't sky high, yet people still manage to build comfortable lives, save consistently, and prepare for the future. So how do they do it? The secret isn't about earning more, it's about spending and saving differently. While other countries chase higher paychecks, the Japanese quietly grow wealth through discipline, habits, and cultural values that make money work harder. Today, I'll break down the 5 key ways the Japanese build wealth without relying on high salaries, and how you can use the same principles in your own life. If you've ever walked through a Japanese home, you'll probably notice something right away. It feels uncluttered, calm, and intentional. Minimalism in Japan isn't just an aesthetic trend, it's a cultural habit that has existed for generations. And this habit plays a huge role in how Japanese people build wealth, even without earning high salaries. At its core, minimalism in Japan is about owning less, but living better. Space is limited in major cities like Tokyo and Osaka, which means people naturally learn to make do with less. Instead of filling homes with endless furniture, gadgets, and decorations, they focus on essentials and items that truly add value. This isn't just about saving space, it's about saving money. The less you buy, the less you spend. Fashion is a great example. In the US or Europe, fast fashion encourages constant shopping, buying the newest styles every season. In Japan, many people embrace a capsule wardrobe, sticking with timeless, high-quality pieces that can be worn for years. A few well-chosen outfits replace closets full of clothes, cutting costs dramatically over time. Daily life follows the same principle. Instead of chasing the latest tech gadgets or home appliances, families often keep things simple and functional. If an appliance works, there's no rush to replace it with the newest model. This mindset helps avoid the endless consumer cycle that traps so many people in overspending. Even food reflects minimalist thinking. Meals are portioned reasonably, ingredients are used carefully, and waste is minimized. The idea of buying only what you need, whether groceries, clothes, or household goods, keeps expenses low and intentional. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't feel like sacrifice. Minimalism in Japan isn't about restriction, it's about clarity. By cutting down on clutter and unnecessary purchases, people create more space, more calm, and more financial freedom. This lifestyle frees up money that can go into savings, investments, or experiences that truly matter. For anyone outside Japan, the lesson is clear. You don't need more to live better. By choosing minimalism, even in small ways like simplifying your wardrobe, avoiding impulse upgrades, or buying fewer but better quality items, you can save a surprising amount of money. And over time, those savings can quietly grow into real wealth. One of the most powerful financial habits in Japan is the deep-rooted culture of saving. Unlike in many countries where spending is celebrated and saving feels like a chore, in Japan it's the opposite. Saving is respected, almost expected, and woven into daily life. Part of this comes from history. For centuries, Japan faced periods of hardship, from natural disasters to economic struggles. Generations learned the importance of setting money aside just in case. That mindset has never disappeared. Even today, the average Japanese household saves a higher percentage of its income compared to households in Western countries. It starts young. Children often receive a piggy bank or savings box early in life, and parents encourage them to put away part of their allowance. This simple practice builds discipline and creates a lifelong habit of saving first and spending later. By the time they're adults, this habit is second nature. One traditional method still popular today is kakeibo, or the Japanese household budgeting system. Families write down every yen they spend, categorize it, and set saving goals each month. It's not just about tracking expenses, it's about being mindful with money. When you physically see where every coin goes, it's much easier to cut back on wasteful spending. Savings in Japan aren't always flashy investments either. Many people prefer the safety of bank accounts or cash reserves, even if the interest rates are low. The focus is less on chasing high returns and more on ensuring stability and security. This conservative approach helps people avoid risky decisions that could wipe out their savings. What's interesting is that saving isn't seen as restrictive in Japan. It's seen as empowering. Having money set aside provides peace of mind, especially in a culture where stability is highly valued. It allows families to handle emergencies, support their children's education, or prepare for retirement without stress. For people outside Japan, This mindset can be life-changing. Instead of thinking of saving as money you're losing out on, think of it as money you're giving to your future self. Build the habit of saving before you spend, even if it's a small percentage. Over time, this consistent discipline is what quietly builds wealth. In Japan, salaries may not be sky high, but thanks to a culture that prioritizes saving, people can still achieve financial security. The lesson is simple. Wealth isn't about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. In Japan, money management often starts with something that feels old-fashioned in today's digital world: cash. While much of the world has shifted to credit cards and buy now, pay later apps, Japan remains a country where cash plays a major role. And this preference isn't just about tradition. It's a key reason Japanese households stay financially healthy, even without massive salaries. When you pay with cash, you feel every yen leaving your hand. That physical act makes spending more real, which naturally curbs impulsive buying. Compare that to swiping a credit card, where it's easy to detach from the cost. This cultural reliance on cash keeps people grounded in their finances, reducing the temptation to spend beyond their means. But the bigger factor here is debt, or rather the lack of it. In Japan, personal debt carries a heavy social stigma. Borrowing money casually for consumer goods is seen as irresponsible, even shameful. As a result, most households avoid credit card debt altogether. Credit cards do exist, but they're used cautiously, and balances are paid off quickly. It's the opposite of what you see in countries like the US, where revolving credit card balances are common. Mortgages and loans are treated differently too. Japanese banks tend to lend conservatively, and families are cautious about taking on more than they can handle. Instead of maxing out borrowing power to buy the biggest possible home, many Japanese families choose smaller, more practical properties. The priority is stability, not stretching for status. This cautious approach to debt helps explain why Japan's household savings rate has remained consistently higher than in many Western nations. Without money tied up in endless interest payments, families can direct more of their income towards savings, investments, or necessities. The smart use of cash also ties back to cultural values. In Japan, money is something to be respected, not taken lightly. Managing it responsibly shows maturity and self-discipline. This mindset makes debt avoidance more than just a financial strategy. It's a reflection of personal character. For anyone looking to learn from this, the lesson is clear. Rethink how you use credit. Paying with cash, or at least treating money as tangible, can help you stay conscious of spending. And avoiding unnecessary debt, no matter how small, frees up resources for building wealth instead of paying interest. The Japanese proved that financial health isn't about earning more. It's about keeping debt under control and making money feel real. Another powerful reason Japanese people can build wealth without massive salaries is their reliance on community and family networks. In many Western countries, financial independence is treated as a solo mission. Once you're an adult, you're expected to stand on your own financially. But in Japan, support systems remain strong, and they play a big role in financial stability. Family is at the core of this system. It's not unusual for multiple generations to live together under one roof, especially in suburban or rural areas. This setup dramatically reduces expenses for everyone involved. Parents and grandparents share household costs, childcare duties, and even meals. Younger generations benefit by saving money on rent and utilities, while older generations have family care close at hand. This intergenerational support also extends to education and major life milestones. Parents often help cover school tuition, weddings, or even provide a down payment for a home. While that might sound like a big expense, it's seen as an investment in the family's long-term stability. By reducing the financial burden on younger generations, families give them a chance to save and build wealth earlier in life. Community ties add another layer. Japan has a strong culture of social responsibility and mutual aid. Neighbors look out for each other, co-workers often form close-knit groups, and social organizations provide additional safety nets. This reduces the need for individuals to constantly spend money on external services, since help often comes from within their network. Even in urban centers like Tokyo, where independence is more common, community support shows up in smaller ways. People often exchange favors, share resources, or contribute to group activities that strengthen bonds, wanbeni, while keeping costs low. Instead of always relying on paid services, they lean on relationships. The effect of these systems is huge. By pooling resources, sharing expenses, and supporting each other, Japanese families can stretch modest incomes much further. This collective approach not only reduces financial pressure but also allows wealth to accumulate over time. For those outside Japan, this might feel unusual, but there's a lesson here. Wealth doesn't always have to be built alone. Whether it's splitting expenses with family, sharing housing, or building stronger community ties, collective financial habits can make a huge difference. In Japan, wealth is not just an individual achievement, it's often a family and community effort. And that mindset makes it much easier to thrive, even when salaries aren't the highest. One of the most striking differences in how Japanese people handle money is their focus on stability instead of flash. While many cultures put pressure on individuals to show off wealth through cars, luxury brands, or oversized homes, Japan has a quieter, steadier approach. People there prioritize security, long-term planning, and balance over temporary displays of success. This mindset helps them build wealth slowly but surely, even without sky-high salaries. Start with housing. In some countries, upgrading to a larger or fancier home is seen as a symbol of moving up in life. But in Japan, practicality usually wins. Families often choose smaller, efficient homes or apartments that fit their real needs instead of overextending themselves financially. Maintenance, efficiency, and location matter more than size or prestige. This reduces long-term debt and ensures more money stays available for savings or investments. Transportation follows the same logic. Flashy cars exist, but they're rare. Many people prefer affordable, reliable vehicles, or skip owning one altogether in favor of Japan's world-class public transport system. Why pour money into a depreciating luxury car when a train pass gets you where you need to go faster and cheaper? By not chasing automotive status symbols, Japanese households keep thousands of dollars in their pockets each year. Even daily spending reflects this long-term focus. Instead of impulsively buying the latest gadget or seasonal fashion trend, people think in terms of durability and value. A high-quality appliance that lasts 10 years is preferred over a cheaper option that needs replacing every 2. A timeless coat is chosen over a trendy one that will go out of style in a season. This habit prevents money from slipping away on short-lived pleasures. When it comes to investments, many Japanese lean towards safety and security. Bank savings accounts, government bonds, and conservative investments remain popular even if returns are modest. The goal isn't to get rich overnight, but to ensure money is preserved and available when needed. Culturally, this reflects the high value placed on stability and planning for the future. While it may seem slow, this cautious style reduces the risk of losing everything in risky ventures. Another piece of this puzzle is retirement planning. With Japan's aging population, there's a strong awareness of the need to prepare early. Many workers contribute diligently to pension systems and private savings, ensuring they won't struggle later in life. Again, it's not about flash, it's about peace of mind. The underlying theme is clear. Japanese households choose security over show. They'd rather have a modest home, a stable nest egg, and the comfort of knowing they can handle emergencies than drive a luxury car or live in an oversized house just for appearances. For anyone watching from outside Japan, the lesson is simple but powerful. Real wealth isn't about how much you can show off, it's about how much stability you can create. By focusing on the long game and resisting the urge to spend for status, the Japanese prove that wealth built quietly often lasts the longest. Japan shows us that wealth isn't always about chasing massive paychecks. It's about habits, choosing minimalism, saving consistently, using cash wisely, leaning on community, and focusing on long-term stability instead of flashy spending. These quiet choices add up, and over time they create a kind of financial security that looks simple on the surface, but is incredibly powerful underneath. The Japanese way proves a simple truth: you don't have to earn more to build wealth. You just have to manage better. So which of these habits would you try in your own life? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more money lessons from around the world.